Hello.
Just hit record. How does it feel to be number one bestseller?
My, oh my, there wasn't even time to warm up. But it feels awesome. 3-time, not just one, 3-time number one bestseller. All 3 categories, all in one day.
Trifecta.
All thanks to you. No, seriously, all thanks to you and the wonderful class that you put on, There were times that I was like, man, I don't know that I can pull this off. I don't think I can, especially when dealing with the formatting of the book and all that good stuff. But with your help, I pulled it off. So thank you.
All you.
Look, I got to watch it. I'm going to get emotional here in a second. I'm going to start crying.
Aw, do it. It's good for TV. Just kidding.
No, I'm a softie inside. So it's very difficult to process this.
Yeah.
So, but it's exciting, and you're number one too, right?
Yeah, yep. I'm number here. Let me share the screen really fast, and then I'm gonna ask you some questions.
That's
awesome. I thought, let's share it while we've got it to record it, prove it.
Oh, look at that!
So I'm only number 7 in podcast and webcasts. Miss Rain is beating us.
Yeah, we know why.
I keep hitting refresh because a lot of people said they bought it, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's gonna push over. We'll see.
It's funny because I hear that too, and then I go and I look, and I'm like, well,
there's a little delay, I think, in the reportings of stuff.
Yeah, because the last I checked, I was only like 478 copies that were sold so far, and I really shooting for that 500.
Yeah, right. 470. Are you serious? I was like, damn, that's amazing.
No.
I was like, I am lazy. Damn. Okay.
But look at that. 1.
1.
How much more fun could it be? And Readily Random Media LLC is the publisher. That's freaking awesome.
Ooh,
you know why? Because that's me. Readily Random Media LLC. Larry Roberts owns that company. Founded that company.
Where'd you put that?
Right there.
Wait.
Oh, where'd you go? Go down.
No, mine doesn't say that.
Oh, you're back on yours. I was like, where'd he go?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, got a glimpse there.
Yeah. Here, you can see my sales so far.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. You know what? The coolest thing. The coolest thing is when the units sold metric changes. Because once you hit, it's in 10 increment units. So once you break each 10, you go, holy crap! What happened? My line shrunk. And your line shrunk because you sold more and you bumped yourself into the next unit of measure. So that's pretty awesome.
Well, here, full disclosure for people, I had 2 sales yesterday and 21 at least showing so far. There might be a couple in the process. And I'm number 1 in 2 categories with 23 total sales. So it just goes to show that if you are smart about the category selection, you don't need that many to hit it.
Right on.
All right. I want to see what these look like in their individual pages because I think that looks super cool as well. So I hope you got a screenshot of this. I did as well, but
I definitely do. I'm gonna make a banner. You think I'm playing? I'm gonna make a banner of this right here and my glorious picture there of my.
Yeah, I like that picture.
Yeah, right. Everybody hates that picture, but I love it. So the hell with them. But I'm gonna make a banner, and it's gonna be my backdrop. How do you not have a number 1 Amazon bestseller in 3 categories and not make it your backdrop?
I love it. That's a good idea.
I'm wrapping my Jeep in it. I'm everywhere.
I love it. Now look at this. I think this is a money shot too because it says Amazon bestsellers.
Yes.
Number 1 right here.
Yes.
And your top new release as well in this category right here. So it's kind of cool.
Golly.
Then here's the other one. So that one's under art and photography. This one is under engineering.
Yeah, now this is something. Now, full disclosure, like you said a minute ago, I did not choose that category.
No, Amazon put you in there.
I don't know why, but again, I don't want anybody to think that I stuck my book in here in an effort to make sure that I go number 1 because I did not do that. This was a category that Laura, like Laura just said, was picked by Amazon, not by Larry Roberts.
Yeah, but it is relevant because you do talk about audio. Gosh, why is my buttons just clicking? I don't know. So there's other books in here around sound and acoustics and audio. Some are a little bit more music side of things, but RVing.
I think the music category, because I'm also number 1 in the music category that I selected, but it's not music per se, it's sound and mixing.
Yeah.
and audio, and that's what a podcast is. You know, a podcast is audio.
Mm-hmm.
And although this category, the physics and the acoustics and sound, I don't know if I picked that. I think maybe I did, but you look around. I mean, it's not like I went out of the. It's not like I'm in a knitting category. You know, it's like
no, for sure.
It's all 100% legit. So, you know, if people watch this video and they're like, oh, they're just scamming the system or whatever. No, we're really not. This is legit. I mean, 110% legit. I busted my ass for an entire month to get this thing done. And
and you know, even just the title is one thing. It's also, it pulls on your keywords and what you use inside of the book as well. So their algorithm is more smart than just the title, because sometimes people's titles aren't even descriptive of what's actually inside. Yes.
But
cool.
Anyways, you know,
have you been checking other countries?
I have not checked other countries.
So here's Canada. So I kind of have memorized all the little short codes. If you just change,
I thought that was California.
No,
I'm just kidding. Not really.
So since you're not showing any categories here, it just means you haven't had a purchase yet.
Oh, look, I have one review, and it's not even by my instructor. What the hell?
Okay, here's the reason. I wanted to open my Kindle and click through it so that you got some KENP, some KenP, Kindle Edition normalized pages, but I can't find my Kindle, and I've been replying to people's messages all day, but I'm going to do it. Plus, you already hit number one, so.
Well, I just figured that maybe if to get a review from you or something, maybe we had to like pay extra.
Oh, no. I'm planning to do it. If you want to send me more money, then that's okay.
Well, you deserve it.
No. So here's Italy.
Yeah, editore.
Italy. So just for people watching and for you as well, the fast way for your own account to get to the different countries is you go over and actually update. They blocked my old one. So I know that sounds like worse than it is. They sent me an email saying that there's something in the title that's not okay. And I figured out it's best-selling. So I changed the title, but they won't let you update it. They just automatically lock it. So I know it's weird. So I can't delete it. I can't change it. It'll just sit there for the rest of the time, but whatever. So I made a new one and I changed the title and stuff to make sure that it aligned with their policies. But if you just hover over view on Amazon, then each of these you can open in another window. So let's see the UK, let's see Australia, let's see Canada for me, just to see. I don't think I have any internationally yet, but I did hit number one in Canada with my first book. So
very cool.
You never know.
What's this book about? What's this book about? Get it about Canada.
Oh.
My Canadian accent.
Yeah. Australia. Let's say. No.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate. And no, not Canada yet. So I need to start bugging my international friends to go buy it.
Laura is the queen of books. Let me see that. Go down there. Look at that podcaster and best-selling author.
Saba Ali, she's in the book.
Oh, okay. Yes. Saba Ali. I know who that is. I don't know
so I featured Akbar, Tom, Mitch, Colton, Saba. I also featured two other ones. Who am I missing? David France and Jaya MK. So, I have 7 case studies here. Oh, here they are, of people who have done it as well. So maybe in a second edition, I'll need to add Larry Roberts.
Well, considering he made number one, not once, not twice, but the trifecta. I mean,
and you're a podcaster, so that's even more relevant. So maybe I can sneak you in.
Man, I would love to do it. I'd be honored. So let me ask you this, Laura, because I'm already, beating you, because you got 2 number ones.
What?
But I wanted to know. How many of your previous students freaking nailed the trifecta?
Good question. Let's see. I'm forgetting off the top of my head. So let's go to the
This
wall.
Could be great for you, and I'm just here to help you out now. I've accomplished mine.
Well, you are not the winningest success story yet.
Just wait. Let's
not yet.
That hurt me. Okay,
so here's the Wall of Fame. I haven't updated it with yours and with my second book, but Tom hit it in all 3 categories in the US and 1 in Germany. So he's got you. Let's see. Mitch. Okay, Connor Gillivan, number 1 in all 3 categories and 1 in Canada.
Wow, I gotta go international here.
You gotta go international. Now, Akbar is my most winningest so far.
Gosh.
Number 1 in all 3 categories in 5 countries. He hit the trifecta in 5 countries and also hit number 1 in another category in the UK. So he technically hit number 1 in 6 countries.
Nikes. This is some competition right here.
Alex Berger, number 1 in 3 categories US, plus number 1 in Germany, France, and Spain.
See, I needed to know this going in. I should have looked at this going in so I knew where to set the bar, you know?
You're tied with Colton. Colton.
What's up, Colton? Me and you, buddy. Disabled veterans.
You still kind of beat my first book. I only got number 1 in 1 category, US and Canada.
No, that's not kind of beaten. It's beat twice.
Well, I mean, 2 countries versus 3 categories in 1 country. I don't know. It's debatable. It's debatable.
Fine. Depends on where you weight that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, Jaya MK, she beat you as well. Number 1 in all 3 categories US, plus number 1 in India and Australia.
Oh my gosh, this is killing me.
Let's see. That one's debatable.
Yeah. 4 countries, though. Number 1 hot new release in 4 countries. That's nice.
Pretty cool. Andrew in 2 categories. Okay, so you beat him a little bit. Okay, you'll go right here.
You damn right I will. That is correct. So, but we're not done. We're not done at all.
No.
I'm still rocking and rolling. I'm still marketing my wonderful book that was written with your assistance. So,
well, not with writing. I didn't assist you in that.
Well, yeah, you kind of did.
Okay, but just for anyone watching, you can go to copythatpops.com/Larry, and it will redirect you so you don't have to go searching through Amazon. Sometimes it's hard to find stuff when you want to search in Amazon.
Oh, that's very cool.
And it pulls right on up, right there. And then you can scroll on down, see his current rankings.
Still numero uno. I've been numero uno for hours now.
Hours and hours.
Hours and minutes.
All right, let's see. I keep on hitting refresh on mine. I'm like, for God's sake. All right, but if you want to go to mine, it's copythatpops.com/permission.
Ooh.
And I really hope I hit the trifecta today. Although it's going to be tough because I hit number 1 in the category of podcasts and webcasts last time. But this time around, we have got some stiff competition in there. We joke around Mrs. Rain, Ariva Martin, but her book is called Make It Rain. So we call her Mrs. Rain. She has been dominating this category for at least a week. And so here's mine.
Be there. It's illegal. She should not be there. She is breaking the rules. And the forward by Dr. Phil, and to put Dr. Phil's name on the book, come on.
Yeah, so Dr. Phil is technically still beating me, so I'm right here. I got to move it on up. Oh, no.
Get up to that east side.
Okay, so maybe I can even stop sharing and just ask you questions.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
Slash ask me questions. It doesn't matter. But
okay, yeah, just have a conversation.
Let's have a conversation.
Right.
Okay, so just to give everyone a backstory.
Hello.
You jumped into what I called a March Madness challenge. So I put it out into the universe that I wanted people who are ready to write, publish, and launch a book in the month of March and hit bestseller. And you were like, I only just met you, but I want to do it. That's crazy. Like, what made you decide to go for it? And with me, no less.
Right. Well, I had you on my podcast, Readily Random Podcast. So as a guest, you were phenomenal. I enjoyed our conversation. You seemed very in tune with what you were saying. You didn't just seem to be spewing a sales pitch per se. It's like you really had a deep relationship with what you do. And I had an appreciation for that. I've always had a goal of writing a book, but similarly to your title, I never gave myself permission to do that. So I thought, man, I don't have a college degree. I do have a 20-year IT career. More valid. Yeah, that's very valid. I mean, I basically sold my way to this position for 20 years because, they called me a business intelligence analyst, but I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So, I've been doing it for a while. But anyways, bottom line is I felt you were very sincere. I felt you had a deep belief and a deep passion for what you do. And that instilled confidence and faith in me to follow you on this path of March Madness.
Yay.
I know,
so
that
glad you
sounded
did.
good, didn't it? That sounded almost professional.
No, it was amazing. And we have other people in this challenge, but one by one, they have kind of fallen a little behind, which is okay. They're still going to go live in April and May, and we're going to support them every step of the way. But you are my number one star student in this March Madness challenge.
Yeah, I am. I mean, it's a tough title to carry, but my shoulders, they've gotten broader over the years, so it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. It's just something that I was passionate about as well. Yeah. And it took over everything. My podcast, I don't want to say it suffered, but it did. I didn't even do consistent episodes on my podcast so that I could dedicate the time and energy necessary to actually fulfill the goal that you have set forth with your March Madness plans. So it was everything to me.
I'm so glad. So now
get your hair fixed there.
I know. Sorry. If anyone's only listening to this, I just felt like my hair was ugly. So
it's like you just like chopstick your hair.
With a pencil.
With just one chop.
A pen.
What's the singular of chopstick?
Chopstick.
Yeah. So anyways.
Okay. We're crazy. So I'm wondering now, not to throw your wife under the bus.
Yeah.
But she seemed a little bit like, I don't know what you're getting yourself into. Is she like super excited? What's her reaction to now your results?
Oh, she's stoked, and about, I don't know, half to 3/4 of the way through, I was just really just pounding the pavement, trying to get this thing knocked out. And golly, I can't remember how it came up, but I really didn't think she was behind me as much as she was, because, the whole hesitation on her part wasn't in you or wasn't in the concept. It was in moi, because I have all these wild ideas. I do all this crazy stuff, podcasts, and I've had other businesses, and, I'm going to, I don't know, buy Bitcoin now. And, I'm going to do gold exchange. I mean, I've had all of these crazy ideas over the years. But this one seemed, maybe the craziest, just because of the investment, not just in the time, but in the financial side of things as well. And so she's like, I don't want to see you just throw this away. I said, look, I promise you, I'm not, because I came in like a day late even, I think, because I still had, or maybe it was the 28th, maybe is what it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I was right there. I was like, oh, Laura, I'm in. Please don't start without me. So, I managed to get her to agree to it. And, about halfway, 3/4 of the way through, like I was saying, I told her, I said, you don't think I'm going to finish this, do you? And she goes, no, I have no doubt that you're going to finish it. She said that, when you set your mind to doing something, you do it. But when you're following one of your crazy friends that have some other business idea, you get burnt out quick. So she said, I had ultimate faith in you doing this because it was your idea. It was something that you wanted. It was your passion. Yeah. And you were chasing it. And she's right. So
that's cool.
So we're together 17 years. I mean, she knows me,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
She's pretty cool. She's in the book. I dedicated the book to her, but she comes in second. Yeah.
Who's one?
Well, Sophie, my dog.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Sophie gets first acknowledgement. I should have brought her in here with me. She's in there sleeping, and I didn't want to bother her. But yeah, she gets the first, and then Tracy's the second, it's just like one carriage return second. It's not like I put her on a different page or anything.
Yeah. So funny.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that you jumped in. You just went all in, and you were just like, okay, every step away, let's go. So what do you feel like would be advice now for people around just the beginning stages? So like take yourself back, because we're on day 27 in the month of March.
Right.
We started on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and actually like the 1st fell like at the end of the week, and then there's the weekends. It was kind of weird. So like we really all jumped in like the 3rd. So tell me, what would you advise to somebody who's in the early stages of like still deciding what to write, outlining out ideas, brainstorming? Like what advice would you give someone now on that part?
This is going to sound so cheesy and so Nike, but just do it. Just start doing it. Just start creating content. Okay. Now I sound like I'm regurgitating my favorite guy, Gary Vee, but it's so true. Pardon me, because I got to get some Monster because I don't have any energy. Kidding. I do have energy, but no, it's just do it. It's just get after it. Because I'll tell you, my book changed.
Yeah.
I had a lot of it written. I probably had a third of it written. I had an entire outline. You saw the original table of contents. It was like 3 pages long. And it was a much more, I'll just say, emotional approach to what I was doing. And as the book started to evolve, and I literally just said this to someone that's going to be on my podcast next week, I told her, I said, we just got to start creating content, and the content will take you in the right direction. Yeah. And it does every time. Readily Random started out as just being a random podcast, a clean, wholesome, motivational, inspirational, celebrational, perspirational, except for that last one. And it's become more entrepreneurial over the last 6-8 months. And the content, it will take you where you're supposed to go. But you can't get there unless you jump in that car and you start driving. And that means get behind this keyboard and start typing.
Yeah, I love that analogy. That makes so much sense because it's like sometimes people feel like they have to wait until everything's perfect and figured out in their head before they can begin. But it's the exact opposite. You have to begin and then the quote unquote perfect. I don't recommend waiting for perfection ever or expecting that, but the right path or a right path will unravel as you move forward. But it's the action that takes you onto those next steps.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't want to spoil my book because it's pretty awesome and everybody that's listening needs to buy it. 1 + 1 = podcast. But I think chapter 6 or chapter 7 is perfection. Forget about perfection. And I even misspell perfection on purpose because I didn't want it to be perfect.
Right.
And the entire chapter is about perfection paralysis and how to avoid it and how to overcome it. And so many times I think we overanalyze issues. I think we put way too much weight on outside influences that control certain decisions. But really, the decision is either A, you're going to do it, or B, you're not.
Yeah.
And B, you're not can have all these other influences that are coming at you, just like bees trying to get to one particular, flower. They're all over the place. That wasn't the analogy I was going to use, but I had to change it up real quick.
Okay. I think I know where you're going. I'm going to have to make this podcast an explicit one when I run it.
I did not say anything explicit, but that's the first that ding. But anyways, so I mean, you're going to have all these outside influences, but the bottom line is just forget it. You're either going to do it or you're not.
Yeah.
And you're never going to have, like you said, the perfect scenario. People go, hey, man, I want to wait to have kids until it's perfect, till we have a house, and we have this, and we have that, we have the dog, and blah, blah, blah. If you wait, you're never going to do it. You're just not. And, I'm 46. Am I 46? I don't know. I was born in 72, and my birthday is in August. So August 30th, send me a present. But maybe 45. But anyways, I'm saying my age because there are so many things that I waited on through life that I waited to do. And I got to tell you, even, and I'm coming, I'll tell you, I was a professional fighter for a little while, kickboxer, mixed martial artist, UFC kind of guy.
Oh.
And there were times I got my ass kicked and it sucked, but there are plenty of times that I didn't, and it was phenomenal when I didn't. But it's a price that you pay. It's one or the other. And I'll tell you the one thing that I would have had more, and I just let the cat out of the bag, that would have hurt more than ever losing a fight would be regret. And I have that regret in certain other areas of my life. I go, oh, man, I wish I'd have done that. Oh, man, I wish I'd have done that. Oh, I had that opportunity.
Can you share one?
Starting a business. I had a phenomenal opportunity to start a business. I say back home, 30 miles up the street. But back where I was born, I had an opportunity to start a phenomenal business. And I made some mistakes and I made some wrong choices. And now I look at it and the business is massive and it's flourishing. And it's great for the individual that's still participating in that business that actually started it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I look back and go, wow, that was a bummer. Another one is buying stock for the main company not my main company, the company that I work for. I'm not dropping any names, but many, many years ago, the stock price fell way down. like crazy down. Like, are we still going to have a company? And, you know, I didn't know for sure, but I had some extra cash laying around, right?
Yeah.
And I talked to Tracy and said, man, should I go ahead and buy some stock? And if we recover, it's going to be awesome and blah, 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 blah. No, we probably shouldn't. So I made the decision not to invest. And guess what? The stock today is higher than it's ever been. And at the price it would have been life-changing.
Wow.
I'd be sitting in a real studio and not just a studio. Well, this is a real studio.
Your studio looks good.
I know it's phenomenal. No, I'm kidding. But it would have been a life-changing decision.
Wow.
And it would have put me on another pedestal that I did not make the right choice. And I regret that because of inaction. That's the whole point, because of inaction. If I had taken action and I lost money, well, I would have taken the action, but I didn't take the action. And although I've got a great life, don't get me wrong, I'm very, very comfortable and I'm very, very blessed. But if I had taken that action, it would have sent me up to the next level of awesome.
And it's kind of like taking risks, but safe risks. So like, you at that time had a little bit of money that you could have lost and you wouldn't have been like in the poorhouse kind of thing. You wouldn't have been homeless. So it could have been a quote unquote safe risk to try. And even like writing a book, it's a safe risk. What is the worst thing that's going to happen? Like, I can't even imagine. It's really, actually, I write about it in my book because my book's called Permission to Write a Brand Building Book, because I meet so many people who are holding themselves back because maybe they have a podcast, but they don't feel like they're worthy of being an author, or they write a great blog, but they don't feel like they're allowed to publish a book. And I'm like, no, like who cares about what people think a book is or what a book deal should be or any of that. And now I'm like losing my train of thought. Oh yeah. So I talk about,
you look down and go, well, what the hell was I thinking?
Let me look back at my notes. Just kidding. I don't have notes, but in the book, I talk about if the worst case scenario is not a single person buys the book, 0. Okay. What do we still have from that? You're still a published author. You still can print copies of it and hand it out as gifts, which builds relationships, which will get you speaking gigs, which will turn into clients. There's so many things that can happen. You, like, even to your point too about your own self, you get more clarity. You understand your stuff better. I personally got more internal confidence by having a book showing up on Amazon. It just was like, oh, this is really cool. So there's just absolutely no loss to this quote risk.
Was that you vibing?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, I was like, oh shoot. So, but no, you're right, 100%. And in addition to that, I think mine and your books, they're very similar in their overall message, just on 2 different media platforms.
Yeah.
Mine is go to a podcast. Yours is go write a book.
Exactly.
If you're a podcaster, write a book. Hey, if you're an author, start a podcast.
Yeah.
If you're a gardener, start a podcast. If you
write a book.
Anything, if you write a book, start a podcast. Just start something. Start something, plant that seed and fertilize it and let it go, let it grow. And it's so rewarding. This was beyond rewarding.
I'm so glad to hear that. So what is the most interesting thing you learned, let's say, around self-publishing?
Wow. The actual publishing part is very, very easy. The creative process is the biggest challenge. And the tools, there's, slight learning curves on the tools. Nothing crazy, nothing ridiculous, nothing that YouTube or
you don't need a college degree to do it.
I can guarantee that. I'm going to tell you that because I ain't got no degree. I'll tell you, I got 6 hours of college. 6. And they're in a now obsolete language of programming, right?
Oh, which one?
What was it, man? It was it's so old. I can't even remember. You shouldn't have asked me. I'll tell you what I remember.
I probably wouldn't know it. My brother would. He's a computer programmer.
It's so old. It's never used anywhere anymore. But anyhow, I got an A there. And then, believe it or not, the next class that I got was speech. And I got an A there, too.
Oh, good. Because your book was almost called Just Say It. What was it? Say It.
Say It. Yeah, Say It. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And I got it was kind of a play on Crush It. I wanted something. I was inspired by something simple I wanted a simple message to have people just big, bold, say it, And again, it was just a call to action for everybody that picked the book up. And that's essentially what it ended up being. It is a call to action, but my call to action is that it's very easy to do. And you can do it free. There's a whole section. Free runs throughout my entire – how'd like that? I used to be a breakdancer too. Free runs throughout my entire book. And I'm telling you right now, you don't need anything more than what you already have.
iPhone you're holding up.
Well, yeah, mine's an iPhone, but anybody else, it could be an Android. It doesn't matter, whatever. You might need some different apps on an Android than you do on an iPhone, but I cover that on in my book. Tell you what's up. I don't leave you hanging.
Copythatpops.com/Larry.
Exactly. Duh. So, but I mean, I give you links. I give you everything in the book. And so it's so easy. Now, what I don't do, and I don't want to mislead anybody. What I don't do is I don't go in depth with the techie, geeky stuff. Okay. I tell you just enough to do what you're supposed to do. And the cover of the book keeps it fairly simple, 1 + 1. So it's definitely an introductory level type book.
Yeah.
But it's only an introductory book to introduce you to the action of starting a podcast. And there's nothing to hold you back because you've got a device in your hand that is your life. And everything you need right here. I was talking to a guy yesterday that said, I need to start doing videos. That'd be great, but I don't want to buy a camera. I said, Kevin, look on your desk right there, buddy. What's on your desk? It's my phone. Dude, it's one of the best cameras on the market. Yeah. And you carry it with you every day.
Okay, so perfectionism.
Yes.
Feeling like you need the quote best or right equipment. What else do you think holds people back from writing a book and or doing a podcast?
Fear.
Fear of what?
Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of being made fun of, fear of online internet haters, fear of bad reviews. I'm still scared of that one. You know what I mean? I don't want a bad review on my book.
I have a few bad reviews on my first one, but I think they're funny.
Well, and that's a great perspective because, we go through our lives too. So many of us, and I'm really guilty of this, is trying to make the other person next to me like me or have my point of view or whatever, or not offend them.
Yeah.
And there's no way I wouldn't think that I'm going to offend anyone in my book. It's just about podcasting. But who knows? Who knows? There may be somebody out there that is an old-timey, what is it? Those
radio.
Radios. Yeah, it might be a radio guy. I was trying to think of those radios that you do at the house that are really expensive. But anyways, I can't think of it right now. They may be offended because you're like, oh, you could do it on your phone. And no, you can't. You have to have this and you have to have that and you have to have the proper microphone. And if you don't make the investment, it's going to sound like crap.
Right. Yeah.
No, you don't.
No,
you don't. So, but you never know. You may get some haters like that. And, the internet's filled with haters. They hate success. Everybody wants to hold you down. I think Zig Ziglar said it best, though. You're either wind in my sails or you're an anchor on my tail. And you just cut them loose. Off you go.
Snip, snip. Peace out.
But it's so true, man. It's so true. My wife hates it when I say that. Tracy, I need your support. You're either wind in my sail, anchor on the tail. That's a sure way to get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. That's so funny.
So I think fear. Fear is it, man. Fear is it 100%.
I almost feel like if we could turn it around and make it almost fun or funny to get the haters, to get the bad comments and embrace it. But how can we do that? Because the older I get, the more I'm caring less about people's opinions. I can't say 100% because I don't know if we ever can. We're social creatures. That's our human psychology.
Of course.
And of course, empathetically, we truly care about other people. But I think a lot of people tell you not to do stuff out of their fear rather than it being a reflection on your actual ability. It's they're scared to write a book. They're scared to put themselves out there do a podcast. So they say you shouldn't, or they say what you have isn't good enough because they're actually feeling hurt inside and scared inside. So it's you can't let their opinion or their thoughts slow you down because it actually has nothing to do with you.
Right. Right. It's not you as a person. They don't not like you as a person or not believe that you could probably do it. Heck, they may even go, oh, wow, what if they do it? And I could have done it. They may
Yeah.
be faced
Am I
with those.
feeling jealous? Like, just in case, I don't want them to do it because then I'm going to have even more evidence in my own life that I'm not taking the action I should.
And there's the R word, regrets.
Yeah.
They may have regrets. So,
Yeah.
But you can't really read a hater and know why they're hating. They just hate.
For sure.
Haters going to hate, though. Haters going to hate.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
When I read that, I was like, oh my gosh. So that's a name of a chapter in your book. I don't want to spoil it, but I just did.
Don't hate the player.
Don't hate the player. I about fell out of my chair because it had me rolling. So,
good.
It's great. I love it. I love it.
Well, because, spoiler alert on that chapter, I have sat in small conference rooms where people who were New York Times bestselling authors stood up there and said how people who get Amazon bestselling are like, it's not a real bestseller. It's like, and he didn't come out and say it's a scam, but basically implied like it's meaningless and was putting it down. And I'm like, first of all, you can buy New York Times bestseller too. It costs more money than an Amazon bestseller, but you can still buy it. So how is it that much better? And second of all, at least I got up on my ass and did it and started somewhere.
Exactly. So, and it's funny because you go, oh, really? Well, were you a 3-category New York Times bestseller?
Yeah.
I was player.
Were you in Canada too?
But no, seriously. I mean, I know it can be hard, and that's one of my things too. Because I'm even being confronted. I wouldn't say confronted. I've been asked during this process. Oh, Amazon bestseller. What's that about? I go, well, it's when I'm number one on Amazon and everybody else is not. I mean, it's just. There's no other way to put it, I'm number one.
And I mean, and I truly clarify for people that it's in a certain category. It's not all of Amazon. I'm not beating Tim Ferriss and Gary Vee and Tony Robbins, but in my relevant category, I'm the top of that one. Like, if you don't think that's means anything, I don't care. I'm still happy about it. I'm going to take a screenshot and share it, and I'm going to leverage it. Let's go.
Exactly. Super stoked. It's a step. Guys, they call it a ladder to success. You got to climb the ladder to. Well, guess what? I know I just jumped 3 rungs. You're going to jump 3 rungs. Well, you've already jumped multiple rungs because you've got a book and you got. But anyways, I'm number 1 and 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. You're like, I'm speaking at Podcast Movement. Are you?
No, not yet. Okay. I'm putting in my application today.
The application's passed.
Oh, dang it!
Next year, I want to see you there. Next year.
I can't even show my face if I can't speak. No, I'm really considering going this year. I think I mentioned that to you earlier.
Yeah.
I'd love to go support your panel that you're going to be on and support your speech and your talk. I don't know if their speeches really at Podcast Movement. They're more like conversations with the audience, and just go and take another step on that rung.
Mm-hmm. And by then we'll have our books in physical copy.
Yes.
You can bring some. We can sign them for each other so that when we get crazy famous, we can sell our signatures on eBay.
Right.
And we can take some selfies with our books together.
Can that get any better? No, it's freaking awesome. So I'll have to lose some weight though, because I'll just dwarf you. Just because I'm like tall and I'm
how tall?
Big. About 6'3", 6'4".
I'm practically 6 feet tall.
What?
Yeah.
That is so cool. That's awesome.
With shoes on, I'm 6'1" for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, okay. So see, now it's not so intimidating to me. I was like, oh, I don't want to do that.
Haven't you read my profile? Laura Peterson is a tall math and psychology teacher turned podcasting entrepreneur. Did you not read it?
Well, the tall didn't stick with me. Some ladies say they're tall and they're 5'5". Mm-hmm. My wife says she's tall, and honestly, she doesn't break 5 without her hair. Yeah. She's 4'11". Yeah, all day.
Maybe she's tall for midgets.
It's little person, Laura. Let's be a little more sensitive, okay? It's little person.
She's a tall little person, okay. Okay, see, now we're offending people.
I know. You
I
said
know
it, not me. I'm staying.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
disappointed. I watch my little person shows. I watch them all. The Little People of Atlanta, Little People of Dallas, Little People of LA. I watch them all. I love. I'm not kidding. I do. I shouldn't say this as a male, but I do. I freaking love it. I watch all those. I watch the Housewives. I watch them all. So I love it. I love it. I love it.
A little more advice from your teacher then.
Oh, don't say anything about
less watching of those and more creating of podcasts and more books.
Girl, you are so. Did I mute myself? Hello, here I am.
No.
Yeah. No, you're so right. 100%. But I can't give them up.
I know.
Here's the thing, Laura.
You have to tune out sometimes, though.
I'm so multi-talented that
it's hard.
I can watch TV and I can create compelling, interesting, insightful, and valuable content simultaneously.
Wow. You should be studied like in a research lab.
Like that just rolled off my tongue. That's how good I am. I'm telling you.
It's good remarkable. Enough. Remarkable is the word.
No, but you know what's funny? And a lot of people go, well, Larry, how do I get guests? And I mentioned this in my book, How to Get Guests, but I don't tell this one particular story. So this was going to go in the book, but I didn't want to offend little people. Yes, here's a bonus about getting guests on your podcast. All you do, and I got a whole chapter, it's just called Ask.
Yeah.
Just ask. Reach out. That's what I did with you. I said, Laura, I don't know who the heck you are, but you seem pretty cool. You want to be on my show? And you're like, yeah, that'd be great, Larry. So here you are, and now here we are, best good friends forever.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I've had FBI agents, I've had multiple PhDs on my show. I've had a ton of people from a variety of different backgrounds. I've had drug addicts that have recovered. I've had cancer patients that have fought cancer and beat it. I've had a whole bevy of individuals. But I reached out once, and I've even had some BC level celebrities. You know, I don't know if you ever watched that Ozark show on Netflix. It was huge on Netflix. Ozark with Jason Bateman.
Watched the first episode. I didn't like it, so I turned.
Oh, bummer. Well, anyways, one of the guys is a co-star in the show. I watched the show, and then I got on Facebook, and I was like, I'm friends with that dude. I didn't even know. So I hit you up and said, hey, Adam, man, I just saw you on Ozark. You want to be on my show? He's like, yeah, dude, let's do it. That'd be great. So I'm like, oh, bonus. So the complete opposite of that, though, is I reached out to two of my little people that I'm huge fans of from Little People of Atlanta, right? And their names are Left Cheek and Right Cheek. And if you don't know this.
For real?
Well, that's the name that they use, yes. Oh. I can't remember their real names. But anyways, they're a group, and they're Little People twerkers. And they're hilarious. They crack me up. So I reached out, and I said, hey, would you like to be on my podcast? You know, I'd love to just feature you. I think it's great that you don't let, your stature hold you back. You're still powerful. You're still strong. And I would like to feature your attitude on my show. I think it's phenomenal. Their manager reached back out to me. Now, these are, C-D level celebs. They wanted $10,000 to come on the show.
Whoa.
I was like, it's a podcast. I've never paid anybody, and I've been podcasting for years. My previous show, I had all kinds of people on that show, and nobody even considered asking for money. So, word of advice, if they ask for money, don't put them on your show. Don't ever pay, because you're not going to get the return on that investment. I can promise you that much.
Yeah, so that's interesting.
There's your little bonus tidbit right there.
Yeah, I've never had anyone ask me to pay them to be on. That's really weird. That's
never heard of it before either. Literally hundreds of episodes of podcasts, and that's the only person that I ever had ask. Well, persons. That's the only group that I've ever had ask for payment. So
interesting.
Yeah, good stuff.
Okay.
What else you got?
Well, I'm trying to think of people who have thought about writing a book, but have not for one reason or another. How about let's talk about real fast around shortening the timeline, because you and I both did it essentially in 27 days. We went from I don't know what I'm going to write about till it's #1 in our categories on Amazon. What do you think are the benefits of actually having a shorter time frame to do it?
I think, especially for somebody like me, it's huge. I had a goal to work towards. I had a deadline, and it inspired me to stick with it and chase the accomplishment that I had signed up for. I've always wanted to write a book. I've already said that. But it's very easy for me to go, well, I'll write a book, and I swear, if I could show you, I don't want to. Well, I don't care. I started writing a book before I even met you, and it was like a biography of Lair. Like, oh, I've had all these challenges in my life, but I overcame them. And I'm like, nobody wants to read that crap, so I never went forward with it. But this book, with the deadline, with the dedication, I don't want to overstress this, but with the financial investment as well, right, for your coaching and your guidance, which you 110% deserve. It was phenomenal. With all those things on the line, you couldn't, for me anyways, I couldn't help but be laser focused on the nights when my little people weren't on, of writing my book, of writing the book. I mean, it had to be done. So I think if you're an individual that has an opportunity to put something off, and will if you can, this is even better. If you need that little kick in the rear, if you need that little sense of accountability, then I think this is perfect for you. And in all honesty, like you had mentioned, I really wrote this book in about 2.5 weeks because of the fact that I was a week and a half in, and I went, this path isn't going to get me to where I want to be. Delete and start over. Literally. Now, I wasn't starting over from scratch, though, so it was a little bit different. I had already gone through the process some, right? So I understood the process of getting started again. And by going the wrong direction, it pointed me in the right direction. So I think a lot of people can learn from that as well. Don't hesitate to think, oh my gosh, I'm going to do it wrong. You may, but who cares? If you do it wrong, that's going to tell you, oh, this is how to do it right. Then you turn around and you do it right. And that to me is the benefit of your course, of having the deadline, of having a short time frame. You don't have time to get distracted.
Yes. Yeah.
And you just knock it out.
Yeah, that's what I love about it too. Is kind of like, we folks who are creative, we're entrepreneurial, we like to do stuff and make stuff and learn stuff. We tend to get distracted by shiny object syndrome. So there's always a million things we want to do. And so we'll start it and then we put it down 40% done. We start something else, put it down 20% done. But if you give a short deadline, a financial investment, a little community to build off of, a coach to help you out as you're going when you get stuck, a short deadline, a publicly announce your deadline. All these little things help you psychologically to be like, I have to be focused and I have to just plow through it and eliminate those distractions. You actually achieve what you want to do.
Yeah, I think you nailed it right there, especially with the announcing publicly your go live date, because I did that, man, a good week and a half, 2 weeks out before it actually dropped. And I had a drop dead date.
Did you feel the fire?
Oh my gosh. I was so scared because I announced it on my podcast. I announced it Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. People at the office, dude, my book drops. I'm telling everybody. I see somebody in the grocery store. I go, hey, by the way, I got a book dropping on the 27th. I told everybody. And that really made it real. You had come up, if you gave me some opportunities to go, if you don't hit the 27th, we could do this or we could do that. But man, I as an individual, I couldn't do it. The fire inside me is it just burns too hot when I do something like that and make that huge public announcement.
You want to stick to it.
That was awesome. Yes, ma'am.
That's so cool.
That's Texas. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So you would recommend that other people take the course, do a challenge, go for it.
Yeah, I do. I highly recommend anybody that's interested in taking your course. You can definitely, put that out there for the whole Twitterverse, universe, Potiverse, whatever. It doesn't matter. Every verse. And there may be some times, because honestly, it crossed my mind. I'm gonna kind of drop you in the grease a little bit here, not a lot, just a little bit. Where I was like, man, I wish that I could get a response, or because I would. Well, hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
I know that's why I'm saying just a little grease, because I would I'd be like Facebook messaging you at 6 a.m. Central, and you're still it's 4 a.m. in California. So I'm like, man, gosh, dang it, I forgot. I wish I could get a response. That's the only time that I ever felt stranded, was when time zones literally kept us apart because every other time I could depend on a timely response to any of my questions. Even more so, I could just put it in the group because you start particular groups for each of your sessions, I assume. You put that out there, tag you, and boom, before you know it, you have multiple responses and in-depth responses. So those moments of fogginess that I had, they were cleared up as soon as you got out of bed.
Oh, good. Sorry I haven't responded. I just woke up and it's Saturday morning at 7:30 p.m. Sorry.
Laura, you don't understand. Clickety click on my keyboard. You don't understand. I'm running out of time.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that you jumped in. It's all worked out beyond.
Oh, yeah. 3 times.
Now we just got to get you in some more countries.
Yeah, I can see. I have my kind of beret on today. I have my Kangol hat. If I turn it sideways, it kind of looks like a beret. Bonjour. Do they wear berets in, where is that, France?
Yeah, France. So if anyone's listening to this on a podcast, you can go back to the show notes and I'll include the video version so you could see.
Yeah, you can see my beret. So I didn't know where they came from. I thought they were just like special forces, like in our army or something.
I assume French.
Okay, I assume so too. Isn't that where the painters are? They're all, oui, use the oil paint, right?
That sounds a little mix of Italian in there.
Ah,
but yeah.
Well, whatever. I haven't been out of Texas my whole life. No, that's a lie. I've been to California.
Have you been out of the country?
I have never. There's a safe statement. I have never, not even Mexico. I have never been out of the country.
When are you going to change that?
Man, as soon as I get a speaking gig in like Germany or something, I'll have to go over there because it'd be fun. I don't travel. I just don't. I do for work. If I need to go someplace, I have actually traveled the entire country. Every facility that we have, I've been to, from California to New York to Indiana and Chicago and all those places. But I've just never. I'm not a big vacationer. I'm just not. Vacations seem like especially from our perspective as Americans, a vacation is like you need a vacation to recover after your vacation. So, let's go to Disney World. And you go to Disney World and you fight through all those people. And granted, you see some cool stuff, but that's not my gig. You know what I mean?
No, I don't like those kind of big crowd things.
Yeah,
either.
Me neither. I don't like them at all. So I know you got your dog with you all the time. I don't have my dog. I don't have my dog. So.
Oh, right. Yeah, you can't take him. Is he bigger?
Well, her. No, she's tiny. She's a little bitty. She's just a little.
Oh, you can take her?
She's a little fur ball of love.
We took Tuck to Europe.
Did you really? Wow.
He's been to like 7 countries or 8 countries. He's been to more countries than you.
Well, now I know you love to travel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I've been to like 40 something.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that now. That is amazing.
And now, actually, my husband and I are leaving. We're taking a vacation in April. We're going to Colombia.
Oh, Colombia. Bring some coffee back. And and Sophie Vergara, bring her sister back too.
Okay.
For me, that'd be awesome.
And Shakira.
Yes. Oh. We're going to start going places we don't need to go here. So let's just.
Okay, let's get back to the safe zone.
Yes. Colombia women are so beautiful. They are very, very beautiful. I do love to look at them very much while I drink the Colombian coffee. Okay. I don't know what language that was, but it was kind of maybe Colombia. I don't know. I got a Russian guy at work that I tease all the time. It's very much comrade. You're welcome to the office. That's my Russian. Good thing I podcast in English only.
Yeah, I like the accent, so you got to work that in.
So anyway, man, I wish I had questions for you.
Oh, yeah, you don't have questions for me?
Well, here's one. I'm going to ask you a question right. If you look at our group on Facebook, this is just for everybody listening. If you look at our group on Facebook, it mostly says Larry Roberts, because I just question everything. I ask tons of questions, but I just like the clarity. And again, you cleared everything up. I had plenty of clarity by just posting in the group. But kind of, I guess maybe my question would be next steps. How do we leverage this newfound success that I'm sitting here, basking in right now?
Right. Okay. Well, first thing, I would update your bios everywhere. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, your email signature. Yeah. Have you done
Yeah.
that yet?
No. I mean, I just hit number 1 a few hours ago. I don't know what to do.
Well, get to work.
I'm looking for your guidance
I'm
here.
just kidding. Okay, yeah. So I would update that. I would link it out in LinkedIn. So like in LinkedIn, there's an area you can do publications and things like that. So link it back. So just try to get more links to the book, feature the book more. If you have a personal website, just put it all over the place so you can really leverage it.
Right on.
Then think about who is the target audience for your book? Where are they hanging out? And how can you get in front of them more? So maybe there are some other Facebook groups that have to do with people aspiring to start a podcast, and you can be interviewed by the host of that Facebook group. Or different speaking engagements, you can start cold pitching and saying, hey, I'm the #1 Amazon bestselling author on this topic, and I have experience in this corporate world. Therefore, that combined is the perfect thing for me to come in and speak to your organization or whatever, and start pitching yourself to get speaking gigs. Even if they start out free in the beginning, do a few, get practice, get the spider webs out and the nerves out of it, and those will start turning into more speaking gigs and even paid speaking gigs.
Ta-da! There we go. Now we're talking. Got to make some money.
Yeah. You can also, to kind of start getting a little more practice and experience and take photos of you on stage, take photos of you speaking, is you could reach out to local universities, local high schools, and come and say, hey, I'll just teach something for 20 minutes for free, whatever. Give your presentation, talk about your book. You could even do a contest to give away some copies of your book and get people involved. You're going to be seen as a superstar. You're going to be seen as a celebrity. It doesn't matter any other preconceived notions in your head. If you're the one standing on stage, people just talk to you differently. They're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Da, da, da. So use that and then leverage it for more, and it'll just start building on itself. But it's like the action thing again too.
Right. And I agree 100%. And honestly, I forgot already. I'm a member of a business group here locally called Business Soup, and I reached out, and they allowed me to post the book in there for advertising and whatnot. And then I reached out to the owner of the group, and the guy that started the group, and he's a fan already because I'm pretty great. And so stupid. I said, hey, Jonathan, man, would I'm ready to do a presentation if you would like for the group.
Yeah.
He said, man, you got it. You are next.
Yep.
So I know there's one line. There's a speaker already lined up for the next meeting, but after that, probably in 3, maybe 4 weeks, old Lair will be up in front of the crowd talking about podcasting, how to podcast, what to do, what don't do, and all that good kind of stuff. So I'm off to the races there already.
Good.
And to be honest, I mean, I at the company that I'm with now, I started off as a trainer. That's how I even ended up there. I came in as a corporate trainer.
Perfect.
And I was a corporate trainer for 3.5 years at Texas Instruments, big company, right?
Calculators.
Calculators. Everybody knows the TI calculators, right? Man, I think it's the TI, what was it, 99 or something? I don't know.
83, 85.
I don't know, but it was a big one. But yeah, I worked at TI for 3.5 years, and I was a corporate trainer there. I got up, I taught soft skills, and real skimmed over the surface of technical skills. So I came into this company where I work now as the training manager for their distribution center. So getting in front of people is something that I've done all my life. Even back in my karate days, I was doing rape prevention seminars. I taught a little bit once or twice at the police academy. I mean, I've been in front of massive crowds, honestly, thousands of people. And I've got my ass kicked in front of them too. That sucks. But that's never fun. Don't do that. Don't get beat up in front of 1,000 people. But to talk in front of 1,000 people is not intimidating to me at all. And I even talk about that in my book, is that, there are certain instances where I let fear control me, and I itemize those in the book because I figure that people can relate to those. And I specifically say, if I'm the subject matter expert, I don't have any fear when I'm on stage.
Yeah, it's like talk about what you know and love, and the fear melts away. After you do it a couple times, it'll start to go away. Right.
And I also did a little bit of stand-up comedy just to help fight the jitters, and because I'm a funny guy,
Yes. Sure.
But no, it's interesting. But getting in front of people is not something that intimidates me. It's just knowing how to leverage this book to get in front of the right people. I still question a little bit of.
Well, I think it's very similar to the exact advice you gave around was with the book too, is just start.
Right.
Don't worry about the perfect people, the perfect scenario, the perfect whatever. Just start and the ball will start rolling and things will just start to happen. And also don't wait to be selected by other people, which I feel like is a big thing that people do. I
Yes.
talk about that with the book is like, don't wait to get a publishing deal. Just choose yourself, write it, self-publish it. And same with like speaking and reaching out to podcasters to be interviewed, things like that. Just start putting the feelers out there and things will start going and it just builds on itself.
Right. And I think, you know, even though I'm a 3-time #1 bestseller on Amazon, I think you still have to maintain a certain level of humility, you see? So, I mean, yeah, exactly. Just everybody bow down. No, I think you still have to realize that you're still, you know, a big fish in a small pond to a certain extent. And you're a bigger fish than most because you've actually done it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But to the leveraging aspect of it, you're still kind of a little fish, you know, but you can grow quickly by feeding on the support of your book. And I think that's where I need to go with that. So,
Yeah.
I don't, did I just ramble there? I think I might have.
No,
I don't think I made my point. My point is
another thing. Well, what we're going to do next in our group is we're going to get the physical copy printed out.
Yes.
On demand, and then we're going to purchase copies ourselves at the low author price because you can just get it at cost. And then another thing you can do is you can think of even like your top 20, your top 50, top 100 people you would love to have interviewed you, or you would love to speak at their event, and physically mail them a copy of the book in the mail with a note, maybe a little candy, something to stand out. And not everyone will say yes, but it's going to lead to tons of cool stuff because people don't take the time to do that anymore.
Right. And you know, that's where it comes down to, do you have a business or did you write a book? Mm-hmm. And if you have a business, you've got to turn around and take the what you just did and leverage that to maximize the effectiveness of your business. Exactly. And if that means printing 500 copies and taking the hit, 500 is a lot. 100 copies and taking the hit. You know, I figure my book's going to be a few dollars to print, right? Maybe $5-6 to print. If I got to drop a $500 or $600 investment in my book to get it out there, then that's what I got to do. It's my business.
Right.
You know, so you just write it off as advertising. Mm-hmm. But like you just said, you have to figure out a way to differentiate yourself from everybody else that wants to do it too. And if you put that personal touch, you give them a gift of your book, I think it's going to set you apart. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, it'll be cool to see what happens in the coming days, weeks, and months.
Oh, I think it's going to be pretty awesome.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I think we should wrap it up because you and I both need to go and sell some more copies because it's still launch day.
Yes. We've been on here a long time, and I appreciate you having me on this episode of your podcast featuring, you know, it's one of your top students. Not the top yet, but one of. Let me just see how top I am right now. You want to before we go? Let me see.
Yeah, let's hit refresh. But yeah, this is actually, if people didn't realize, we're recording it on live launch day. That we both are 100% live. So
100% live.
Pretty cool.
I'm trying to get over there. Bear with me. I don't know.
I know. And I keep hitting refresh in the background, and I'm still number 7. Dang it! In podcasts and webcasts.
I keep refreshing, and I'm number 1 across the board. It's so weird.
Just staying there.
Let's see reports here. Wow, that is so funny. I've got 21 total sales as well. That is so weird.
Wow, I would have thought more just for hitting number 1 in all 3 categories, but it just goes to show
but that's only in one category. The other categories I've sold 43 and 82.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know it doesn't, but I want.
All right, you're confusing the listeners. Okay. I'm like, what are you talking about? No. Yeah. Inside of your Kindle Direct Publishing account, you just see one number. You can sort by different titles. So if you have more than one book, you can separate the data to see how many purchases of each book. But
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, but
so your goal was 100 sales.
Yeah, I'm coming up a little shy right now, but people are starting to get off work and they're going to crush it.
Yeah, that's true because people are probably busy with work. So let's end this call and we both go back to work.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you again.
Thank you. Keep it up.
Most definitely. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.